My nail tech knows how to keep a little secret.
Welcome Dexties. Today we're designing this beautiful press-on nail set and I'm going to give you the full tutorial. So let's get started. So after you size out your nails and ensure that they fit the different fingers like your thumb, index, middle, all size out, we're going to start with the base coat. So already you can see that I have designed the thumbnail, the thumb, which shows a natural nude looking color. I love D&D gels for the nude colors and one of my favorite go-to right now is number 879. And this is what it looks like. It gives this perfect pink, nude, pastel, calm color that you typically see on all skin tones. Well, not all skin tones, but it matches the different skin tones. And I think it's a must-have for your collection. This is not sponsored, by the way, but if D&D wants to sponsor them, girl. Okay, so let's get into the design. Here I have one hand done. This design is actually a recreation, and I'm creating this for a gift for a co-worker. So if she's seeing this video, shout out to you. This is actually your nail set that we're designing. Right, so we're gonna jump in with the base coat. I already have the base coat and I go in with the base color coat. So this is the color that's behind the design, the foundation of the design. So we start layer by layer and color by color. Alrighty, my lovelies, so whenever you are applying gel polish to tips, ensure that you apply them in very thin layers and not all at once for it to be bulky. If it is a case where you do need a more pigmented look, then you apply more layers, drying in between each layer of color that you apply. And if you are actually watching a second video of mine and you are not subscribed, then tell me, what are you even doing? That is offensive. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Please turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any posts for whenever I drop a video. Why would you want to miss the post over here? And once you're subscribed, you become a Dexty member. Alrighty, we share, we don't gatekeep over here. All thing nail tech secret. Now, getting back to the design. After placing it in the lamp and drying for 60 seconds in between layers, we're checking to see if the layer is tacky and if we can go ahead and apply our next layers just to build up that pigmented look a little more. As you can see, I've intentionally left out that middle finger. That's because we don't need this nude color for that design, for that particular nail. If you're looking in the background, you can see that the nail in the middle actually has blue. So we don't have to waste any extra gel product because gel expensive, trust me. Yeah, so we're just doing color by color as I mentioned before. So first we work with the nude and we did our thin layers and we dried them in between, drying 60 seconds for each layer. Now we're giving some attention to that middle nail, switching to the color. This kind of helps me with my mental focusing up because if me I go back and forth, switching between different color bottles, it's a bit confusing and better for how my mind works. So I do from layer by layer, color by color, and then we go to the designs last. So I don't know if you're familiar with this particular brand of gel polishes, but they're not the big expensive brand and it is so pigmented. I've had them for years. I think probably even 5 years or more I've had these gel polishes for, and they haven't become lumpy or anything like that. Them really good and very pigmented. Look at that. And if I go buy them back, I go buy back the same one them. If I remember, I'll tag the name or the company or the Amazon link on screen. If you want me to drop that link below, just comment. If I don't see any interactions in the comment, then I'm not gonna know what you want or what you want to see from me. So as you can see, the colors are coming together. Yes, the blues are different, but we are getting there. As I say, layer by layer, color by color, and then design by design. So now that we've had the nude base down to the T and we have the blue base down, I'm going to show you a trick to how I build up my colors to get a specific look. So this would have been my first time trying the BOUJEE product. I've seen a lot of reviews about BOUJEE. Don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but that is all I'll call it for now. For this design, I believe I ordered the matte top coat and also the shiny top coat. Having a matte coat in your collection is also an essential, I believe. It's easy to do designs on top of a matte surface. It's like writing on a paper which is matte versus writing or designing on a shiny surface. So as you can see, I was just testing out this design here. I don't think it's too necessary. It's really necessary for this nail, but I wanted to test out my new BOUJEE product because I was gonna do a pigmented look to get that, you know them deep blue jeans there. We have this deep blue jeans look if you understand what I mean. So first we put a layer, and best believe, you see this product, the brand is a top tier brand, yeah, top tier and affordable. So once you put down this, you don't need to do no 2-layer or anything. It has a very thick consistency, so you don't have to worry about that. So now we're grabbing our brush. I believe this is a makeup brush that I have. I used to use it for eyeshadow, but I don't wear eyeshadow that much, so I decided to use it for my blending brush for my nails. And it's very compact and dense, so it's perfect to create that ombre look. So this is the brush that we'll be using, and I also have some pigment powders that we're gonna get to in a second to create that ombre look, because as you can see, the nail in the background has this deep blue look. I believe I got this pigment. I'm not sure if my partner bought this one for me or I did. He buys a lot of stuff that I don't know where. Sometimes I feel like he has a nail tech friend telling him what I like, or a female friend telling him what nail techs use. And he buys the most essential products that I definitely need and is actually in my cart, and I swear he does not have a list of what is in my cart. Crazy. But I believe if I did not get this, I believe I got this one. I think I got it from Temu or Shein. Again, not sponsored. I would love a sponsor, but I specifically chose this color palette because it's so pigmented and I saw a lot of great reviews, and it has the primary colors, which is blue, red, yellow. I saw those are the primary colors, though, because you can make other colors from those primary colors, and those are the most commonly used and requested colors. So after dipping the dense brush in the pigment, and I try to dab it on the matte layer, this is what it was looking like. Now, if me a bit honest, putting dry powder on a dry surface, it wasn't working for me, But I'm the same one. I'm the same person who say do layer by layer. Because really, when you're doing pigment powders, you have to do a layer and then you build up and build up. But if I'm using the brush is just pushing away the powder, and I wasn't seeing any results. Are you seeing the results? It's not as baby pink as it was before, but it's doing a little something. So let's try again and see what it builds up to. So this time, I'm going to test another technique to achieve this blue jean look. Since we have the matte layer, I'm going to go in with an old eyeliner gel. Yes, I know, not the product to use. I mean, anything with pigment can be used, makeup and color is all the same in my eyes. So, it never did work with the dry powder pigment on the dry matte nail surface. So I went in again with the blue polish just to cover that matte surface so that I can get my tacky layer. Because typically when you use a pigmented gels, when they dry down after the 60-second, they have this tacky layer, which can be used to your benefit, or sometimes persons wipe it off with alcohol or 1 swipe of acetone. So for me now, I'm gonna put it in the dryer for about 60 seconds, give it a full cure, and then we're gonna use this black pigmented eyeliner. At the moment it's dried up, but I chose not. My mind telling me say not to throw it away, so we're not throwing it away. We're gonna use it because you can still use the brush. I don't have any black pigmented powder. I do, but they're not in containers as yet, so we're using what we have. So after the blue is dry, I'm gonna dip the brush in the black dried up eyeliner. I know. And then remember, the blue has this tacky layer, so now you see some changes, right? So we're putting black on blue. Now you get that rustic. I'm still checking to see if, oops, made a mistake. I pushed the black liner too much, so I have to blend it out. Blend out that little dot spot. And now we're getting that kind of worn deep blue jeans look that I like. So I'm going in again, picking up some more black pigment, and I like it. I like to find the uniqueness in the mess. So yes, it's a bit chaotic because that's not what I expected and that's not what I planned, but it's getting the look. And sometimes you just don't have to. Don't count your failures as just failures. Count your failures as building blocks that can help you go to another level, because you would be looking at my final design and never know, say, oh, it's a mistake that made me end up with this result. So hope that helps somebody. So we're just gonna build up the pigment until it matches the other nail in the background, and I'm getting that look that I love. It looks like one of them old navy jeans there where have that deep blue, right? Tell me so it no match. And we're coming from a baby blue, so kudos. For the next step, I need to lock in that pigment to the application that we just did, the black on the blue, because it's not cured and it's not sealed with anything. So when I know that I'm going to go over pigmented powders that still can be lifted, I don't want my brushes to be contaminated with other colors, especially my clear polishes. Because what if I want to put my clear polish over a white and I just swipe it over like a wet blue or a wet black look? It's gonna spread onto the white. So this is a top gel polish. I believe it's a gloss top coat that I bought at a local store. I can't seem to find these online. They're very affordable, but I don't know if it's a case where local suppliers are getting it from international suppliers at a lower cost for a higher demand. But nevertheless, I am happy when I can find certain products locally. And since this was way more affordable, it's the gel polish that I use when I'm going over colors. So even though I treat it as my little, grab it and messy top polish, I still try to wipe off any pigment colors that may lift from the brush onto my glove, so I don't contaminate the rest of the product in the bottle. And yes, I know you can buy extra nail polish brushes and change them out, so you can avoid all of this struggle. But until then, we're building our stock a little by little, so we're just using what we have. So I'm gonna put that in the lamp to dry for 60 seconds. Now we need to do a little bit of cleaning up. I always recommend cleaning your space as you go and clean your tools as you go when you can. So at the moment, we've dipped that blending brush into a lot of powders and I want to see it clean, or else it's going to drive my mind crazy. So I'll just grab one of my lint-free wipe, and this is a bottle of alcohol. If you have any tips on bottles that we can use, I have the glass bottle as well, but I don't know, some bottles the alcohol leaks or evaporates, some bottles I don't know, it looks like it's about to melt like this one. So I just spray a bit of alcohol on the lint pad and then you just rub the brush in circular motions, and you can see the pigment coming out easy, easy, easy. And that, remember, you know, it had in blue and it also had in the black eyeliner, and you can see the tip of the brush is becoming white again. If you scroll back in the video, you would realize that the end of the brush was actually fully coated in black. So it's that simple, that's that easy to clean your brushes. Spray a little alcohol on it, go back and forth in circular motions with the brush, and the product will be removed. This is a big bottle that I got from my local supplier as well. Shout out to the local supplier. I buy acetone and alcohol from them. They're called Variety Store on not Amazon, on Instagram. They're local, so they're in Jamaica. They sell a lot of other products as well. That it's a small business, but they sell the essentials for nail techs like disinfecting soap, acetone, alcohol, and stuff like that. And they're very, 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 very affordable, way more affordable than what you would have buy on Amazon. And I don't know where them source them stuff from, but they see the acetone there. Acetone strong. And you see the alcohol there, the alcohol just as strong as the acetone. So, and I've used their products for years now. Yeah, and they sell even the bigger bottles, so I would recommend checking out the Variety Store on Instagram. If I'm not saying the name right, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna put it on screen. So now our top gel for the middle nail is finished. Checking to see if it's tacky, if my brush is gonna stick to it. It's not tacky at all, and I love that because some top polishes, when them dry, them sticky, man, I like that. I like when it dry, it feel like a glass, like a drinking glass. Just smooth and dry. So that one passed the test. Now we're grabbing our liner brushes that we used to do the artwork. Because if you look at the nail in the background, we actually have a white French that goes, I would call it a French because French stop halfway, don't. So it's like a white frame that goes all around the perimeter of the nail. So we need a fine liner brush to do a design like this. So we'll have to get our liner brushes ready. This one was also bought on Shein or Temu, one of them. And don't follow nobody. Yes, Shein and Temu products are just as good. So let's warm up our brush a little. Now look at that, we're coming all together. Trust me, when persons tend to, when nail techs and nail artists try or tend to charge and a little extra for line work, I mean, they kind of deserve it. They kind of do. I don't agree with overpricing for designs, but line work takes so much precision and patience. I had to speed up doing that single nail, right? So what might have been like a couple of seconds for you probably would have been like 10 minutes for me. But look at it, we're having this perfect glossy jeans look, and I love it so much because when you finish your base colors like this, then you know it's soon time for the exciting parts, the designs and the accessories and the gems and all of that. All right, let's get to the top gel. Always ensure you do top gel before you add your designs. You don't want to spoil your base colors before you apply designs, and then you have to wipe off everything in its entirety. So always top coat your base colors. So right now we're finished with the base colors, we're top coating. So if we do a design on top, we can easily wipe it off without ruining the base foundation colors. My people, when me tell you, say, you see this brand? Glam, whatever it is, the glam gels. I don't know where the suppliers or the vendors are getting it from, but it is tea, and this is not no expensive luxury. These don't clump up on me. They don't lump up. No matter how Jamaica hot, me not see them spoil on me. These gel polishes, and them come with a lot in the bottle. There's a lot of products in the so the bottles last for years. This one is so pigmented. You see the look of that one we have? That's all we need. That is all. If you know where to get these, let me know in the comments. And if you've seen your local supplier with these, get them. They are worth it. Trust me. And you see this one? This is another one. The Studio, I believe it's Studio Pro. These are affordable gel polishes. And they're so pigmented, they come with a lot in the bottle and they don't become lumpy. And I'm in hot Jamaica and I can be proof to these products. We need to find where they are being sold. Anyway, for our first thumb design, you can see that we have a zebra print that's going on the French. So we're going to do exactly that. Sometimes I'll put the gel polish. If I'm going to do detail artwork like this, I'll put the gel polish on a surface that's solid and smooth. I'll sometimes put it on a paper. Like I have a paper that's laminated with a daily schedule that I'm working over, just so that it doesn't mess up my table until I get my protective mat. And I make these myself. If you're ever interested and you want to purchase those, or you want to purchase the templates for my laminated daily nail schedules, I can do that too. Another thing, you might watch these videos of persons doing nail art designs, or like me doing this French tip design right now and wondering, how am I going so fast? The video is sped up. If you want to do neat, crisp lines, go slow as possible. Be patient, relax your mind, relax your hand, and ensure you stick out that pinky so that you don't get affected with the, what do you call it? Carpal tunnel syndrome. Right, so go slow as you can until you can master it and get faster. As you grow with your experience, enjoy the process. My lovely people, I'm about to do something with this nail design, and I do not want you to follow that step. So you see, if you're doing a thick French nail design like this, when I say thick, I mean it's wide, so the smile line is wide. Do not flash cure it. Put it under the lamp and do a proper cure. If it's like a tiny line like the blue that has that thin French, fine, but don't risk it. Just put it under the big lamp and not your tiny flash lamp like what I'm doing now. I did this flashing the French smile while I worked on the other design, and that lump up, I don't know why. Maybe because it's not drying it evenly and it's so much product. So I don't recommend flashing so much product. Like if you're gonna do like small tiny artwork or line work, then you can flash it and have it dry, so you know you don't spoil it or smudge it. But if it's something like this, I don't know if you can see it, but I start to the bubbles. I start seeing bubbles, the white start bubbling up. And that's not good, because then the press-on nail is going to start looking lumpy and fake and not natural. So after you do the smile line, just put it under the big lamp, cure for the 60 seconds, and then you go in again with your new layer. As you can see, folks, that thumbnail is bubbling up. That's not the design. That's the gel polish. But although it starts to look wrinkly because there's so much gel product on the thumb, because it has a wider smile line, which required me to use more product. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to remove anything reach too far. What I'm going to do, as we say, when we get failures, we use them to elevate. We use them to overcome the next step. And you would never know that a mistake would have been on the design. Did you see it at the front of the video? No, you never see it. Right. So what I'm doing now, because the design has zebra stripes, luckily, and black conceals mistakes. Right? So with me putting these thin zebra-like lines where the wrinkles were actually helpful and give me a little guideline on where to put the wrinkles. So now when we disguise those wrinkles with the thin zebra looking lines, my mind was calm again. I try not to think about a design too much, or I'll go crazy and the design will look messy. So I just go in, bring in the design halfway, put more weight or more pressure when you just start, and then you kind of lift the weight up more when you're going towards the tail of the line, so it appears thinner, so you get that broad to thin wavy look and create that zebra pattern. Then I also went in and made some of the lines so small and short in between, and it was perfect. Then I could actually go in and cure with the flash lamp, because these lines do not have a lot of product. They're very thin layers, so the flash lamp would be perfect for curing something like this. And then when you go over with your top coat, the top glass gel polish, it's gonna be concealed and looking smooth and nice once you use a good top gel polish. And we're gonna get into that later on, the top gel polishes that I recommend to top off your designs. But let's get into the design, and then we'll move on to the accessories and the gems. We're almost through. So right now you can see that the design is coming together. It is starting to look like the inspo, or the first one that we've done already, because we've applied the base color, and then we've applied the French tips, and then we applied the zebra line work, and then we also applied that full perimeter French frame, white frame around the blue. And by working layer by layer, then color by color, it's less chaotic on the mind, and you can see where you're going with the artwork. So that's the best way to work it. Now you can see we've done all the colors. We are going to move on to the gems and the accessories and like the 3D elements of the design. No, this is one of my favorite parts. It's like decorating the icing on the cake, like adding like the sprinkles and all of that. That's my favorite part at every nail rig, and is why I am so passionate, because when you finally add the final touches and see what it's looking like, this brand T, screenshot, type the name in your Amazon, because if you've been looking for like the 3D gel that does not melt away and stick to everything that you own when you're trying to mold it while living in a hot environment like Jamaica, then this is a product for you. I've reviewed and tested so many 3D gels, and none of them, or this is one on my list that I've tested so far that no melt. It doesn't melt, it not goopy. This one is very good. There are a couple others that I haven't tried as yet, but I've loved this one, and I never find a need to move on to the other ones as yet. But as you can see, if I poke it, it's like Play-Doh. That's what we like. It's supposed to stay firm so that you can mold it and sculpt it easily. And remember, when you're using these products, always wear gloves. Do not get all sorts of diseases and infections touching these gel products with your bare hands, okay? Even though it says this one is non-toxic and something another free. But first, before we do the petals, I don't know if you've noticed, there's this little ombre on the index finger on the design that has the 3D flower. On the base of it, it has this blue ombre, and this blue ombre matches back the middle finger. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, anytime you're doing a design, always put on your top gel before you add the designs, because that way it's easier to remove a mistake. So if I do the top gel now, like I'm applying here, and then I dry that top gel, then I go ahead and put a design on the top gel and I want to wipe it off, it won't mess up the design that's beneath it. So that's the best way to work. Do a design, top gel. Do another design, top gel. And do it in thin layers, even layers, and ensure the entire surface of the nail is coated. Cure for 60 seconds. These that we are looking at are called caviar beads. They are so tiny and so useful and can do so many variety and types of designs. That's the right way to say it. Yes, so you can have golden caviar beads. You can have white caviar beads that mimic the look of pearls. They come in different sizes. You can use them at the center of your petals. You can use them to create this chain link to give a jewelry look. They can do so many things. Definitely an essential. A lot of things that I mentioned are essentials and must have in your nail stock, and they are truly. I still want to get the silver ones. They're super pretty, and the rose gold ones, they're very affordable, probably like 99 cents or $1 on Shein, on Timu, and you can see that you get a whole lot. So as I mentioned before, we have this blue gradient look that's on the index finger, and we need to mimic whatever is on the other hand, on this hand. So remember, I put on the top gel, and what did I teach you at the beginning of the video? Whenever you use a gel and you dry it, the pigmented gels, and you dry it in the lamp, there's a sticky tacky layer. So because it's not matte like we did before, it's sticky, so it's gonna hold the powder versus a dry surface. Now mind you, some surfaces, some matte polishes actually hold powder well. I haven't found that one as yet, but I would recommend, if you're gonna use pigments, do it on a sticky surface. If you're going to use a matte nail top coat on your nail design, then you would use patting gel. So it has to be something sticky to something dry. So it's either the nail is dry and the pigment is sticky, or the pigment is dry and the nail is sticky, or the other way around. If they said, oh, the nail is sticky and the pigment is dry. You get what I mean. So we're going to our building gel, sculpting gel, the 3D gel, whatever you want to call it. Take out some out of the pot that you got it in, and we're going to roll it into a ball. Now the petals that we're using have, the flowers that we're doing actually have 5 petals. So you're going to try, guess a good amount to scoop out of the pot. Then you're going to put it on a flat surface and roll it around, just like when you're kneading dough or dumpling or donuts. So you're going to roll it until it forms this long shape, and then we're going to cut it into 5 even parts, and that's going to form each of our petals. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, right? So each part is going to represent 1 flower, and as tiny as it is, a small piece goes a far way. Trust me, you don't want to be having this humongous flower, and you will see what I'm talking about eventually. The other flower that I did was perfect, but I was thinking that these balls that I'm rolling were too tiny, but they're still big because the product stretches. That is why you might look in the pot and wonder, why is this amount the only amount that's in the pot? But it goes a far way when you're doing a simple 3D, artwork on a nail design. So we have the pigment powder down. I haven't put any top gel on this one as yet. I probably should have, but let's test it without doing a top gel. We're just gonna place the 3D balls on the top of the nail at the positions where we want to spread the petals. So we pretty much have our flower, our 3D flower sitting there looking pretty. So now that we've reached this stage, I suggest flash curing so that we don't spoil the design or it doesn't droop out of shape. So flash cure it for about 30 seconds. My flash lamp has 60 seconds, which is good, and I love that. Not a lot of these flash lamps nowadays go so far, and again, that just looks beautiful. You didn't have to color the 3D product itself, but because that gradient is behind it, you get a pop of color in the background of the flower. I still wanted to add a little depth in the flower, so I dip it in, I believe it's teal and blue, those colors on the right hand side of the screen, just to mimic that deep jeans blue look. And I don't want to overdo it, just want it to look natural and simple, and I think that was enough pigment for that flower. We're moving on to another exciting part. This is using 3D gel to apply 3D gems. Now, that product that I used a moment ago was another form of 3D gel, but more like rhinestone glue. So it's a glue but gel. So it's more liquid than the 3D molding gel that we use to make the flower. Now we're gonna pick up some caviar beads. You can't really see it here, but there is a little bit of glue in the middle, gel glue in the middle of the flower. So, and also on the end of this nail art brush I'm using. It's nothing fancy, not a fancy tool, just the back of another nail art brush that I don't really use. So I use it to pick up the caviar beads and place the beads in the center of the flower that we created. And this gives it that, I don't remember the part of the flower it's called, but it have an pollen pan it. So it's giving me flower with pollen in the middle. That's exactly the look that we're creating. And again, I always flash cure so that those don't fall off. So right now we're adding a few more touches on that little pinky. I'm a firm believer of having the pinky as that accent nail. Like the pinky not feel left boring. The pinky have to have like a class and glam. Yeah, the pinky needs to be seen, not because it's tiny. Give it some glory, man. So right now I'm making circular blobs of glue on the pinky nail, on the French smile, so that I can place the caviar beads and the pearls on these locations. So wherever you see me placing the glue blobs right now, that's where a bead is gonna be placed. So I have to work quickly because I don't want the glue to shift down or to move and spread around, because it will affect the finishing texture of the nail, and it's a very thick glue. So we're gonna choose some tiny pearls and some bigger pearls just to give a little variety and that little extra glam on the pinky. This is coming together so nicely. I like the variety. It's giving wedding. I might have to do a design. I believe this is a design that I've done that makes me want to do a nail set that is pure gold, white, nude, and pearls with caviar beads and golden caviar beads. Because just look at that pinky alone. It has a lot of glam. Some might say it's overcrowded or a little too extra, but I like it. I like it. The pinky deserves the glam. Now, as I remember the golden rule. Always top coat between layers. Well, now we're going over and in between the caviar beads so that we can reinforce it on the nail and it doesn't fall off easily. And whichever nails that don't have top gel, we're gonna just top gel everything, make everything shiny and smooth. So typically I would use my Cooper top coat, but I wanted to test out this brand today, this LA Pro. Again, don't know where the suppliers are getting it from, but it's such a great polish because when it dries, it feels like glass, smooth. It's not sticky. It's not sticky. You don't have to use no alcohol again to wipe it off. So for now, I have 3 top coat polishes that are working very good for me. If you want me to do a video on top coat gloss polishes or matte polishes, I can also do that, you know, just to give a review and comparison of all the top gel polishes that I have, because I had to buy so many products and throw them away, the ones that are not good, just to find good polishes. And I think this would help somebody else. So you know what? Even if you don't ask for it, I'm going to give you that video. So now, remember, after putting on your top coat layers, you need to cure for 60 seconds in the lamp, and this is what our girls are looking like. Okay, my lovely people, we are not yet done. I have to package these orders. Remember, this is a gift, and I want to show you the process of how I would package my press-on nails. I'm actually running late and I have work to get to, so I wanted to show you what it looks like on the nail beds and accessorize with the rings, of course. Don't mind Melissa hand in the back. She is silicone. She's not alive. She's not a real hand. I got her from my best friend to practice on. Yeah, Melissa is a fake hand and she'll be in all my videos, if not most. These nails turned out perfectly. They are so beautiful, and if you haven't as yet, I suggest investing in fashionable rings like these to elevate your nail pictures. I love this design. I am obsessed. I love when I do a design that I would definitely want to wear for myself. That means I'm gonna put all of my passion in it. It was a genuine creation. And if you reach this far in the video and you've learned so much and gotten so much tips about the products and the tricks that I use, why aren't you yet subscribed? This video was filmed months in the back. I have so much more videos for you. It does take some time. I've been planning and we have a lot more in store. So now let's fast forward to the part where we'll package up the press-on nails for our girl, her gift. So it was a part of a gift for my co-worker. All right, so just can't get enough of these. Can't get enough of these nails. All right, I think this is enough showing. So for the packaging, I typically put my press-on nails in a box. Well, that was good. I'll have the package here. Time to go to work.
My nail tech knows how to keep a little secret.